and I'm calling the first singer. And the first singer is going to be James Eagle. So I hope this isn't too much of a shock for you, James. I should probably give people a bit more warning. Never mind. It'll be James and then it'll be David Diamond. So fire away, James.
Going to unmute myself first. I'm going to do a song by a fantastic singer, songwriter, and poet from Rotherham, I think, called Ray Hearne. If you don't know him, he's fantastic. He writes very political songs about the kind of industrial heritage of Yorkshire. And this is one of them, written during the miners' strike, which didn't turn out the way he hoped from the chorus, but you can join in anyway. Now the South Yorkshire miners are terrible men. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. They've struggled before and they'll struggle again. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. They fight for the rights of their brothers and sons. They don't bottle out when the battle begins. United they'll stay because unity wins. Victory to the miners. Well, there's various miners of various shades. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. There's some lie in bed while the bobbies parade. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. But the lads on the lines who have answered the call, with their sisters and wives saying no to the dole, are patriots, heroes and champions all. Victory to the miners. Well, those lads and those lasses of whom we speak, tally-hi-ho, the miners, they've done without sweeties for umpteen odd week, tally-hi-ho, the miners, and they're nobody's dupes and they're nobody's fools, not the wives in soup kitchens or kids in the schools, and they'll win this dispute by their own union rules. Victory to the miners. Well, that iron-hearted woman in London we know, tally-hi-ho, the miners, is calling the shots though McGregor says no, tally-hi-ho, the miners. Well, that poor happy bugger had best watch his step, for the butcher's redundant who loses his grip. He'll be next man in line for the cold Thatcher chop. Victory to the miners. We're needed at Orgreave and morning we hear, tally-hi-ho, the miners. They'll come in their hundreds from far and from near, tally-hi-ho, the miners. From Durham and Nottingham, Donny and Wales, we'll stop all them wagons, we'll swap us some tails, and we might get a suntan if justice prevails. Victory to the miners. We're all well acquainted with Constable Plod, tally-hi-ho, the miners. He tips us a wink, we return him the nod, tally-hi-ho, the miners. That superintendent of ours was a dove, until he got leaned on a lot from above. Now he's all walkie-talkie, conducting the shove. Victory to the miners. We've all met the Met, they're the nastiest yet. Tally-hi-ho, the miners, deficient in all but the worst etiquette. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. No fair weather banter, no wet weather wit. I wish I had that one with me down the pit. The one with the overtime slips in his mitt. Victory to the miners. Now the South Yorkshire miners are terrible men. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. They've struggled before and they'll struggle again. Tally-hi-ho, the miners. They fight for the rights of their brothers and sons. They don't bottle out when the battle begins. United they'll stay because unity wins. Victory to the miners. There you go.
That's it. This is the thing, isn't it?
It's a great way to start the evening.
With an English accent.
No, you can't.
So our next singer is David Diamond, and then we'll have Steve Suffet.
Who?
Here we go. Yes. As you can tell from the background, I was going to sing a sea song. And I think I will. I nearly changed it to a mining song, but this is pretty much my favourite folk song of all time, which I got from the singing of A.L. Lloyd, so who knows whether it's totally authentic. But I still love it. Short jacket and white trousers, this young gal she's put on, and like a gallant seaman bold, gone rambling through the town. She did engage with our Captain Ross, a sailor for to be. It's all to seek her own true love across the raging sea. One day as she lay drowsing, she was ready for her bed. The captain he did sigh and say, "Oh, I wish you was a maid. Your curly lock, your cherry cheek, they have beguiled me. I'd often wish with all my heart your sweetheart I could be." Oh, hold your tongue, dear captain, such talk is all in vain. And if our shipmates come to know, oh, they would make sport and game. But when that we do reach the shore, some pretty girls we'll find to ramble along with us bold lads, if we're that way inclined. 'Twas but a few days after we docked in Baltimore, this gal appeared in her petticoats. Oh, it made the captain roar. "A sailor I have been on deck, and a maid I'm going ashore. You missed your chance, dear captain, and adieu for evermore."
The mine's one from the sea. What's next? From Richard. Could be a tune.
He's in this.
From Sweden. I don't know. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's Steve
Back
Suffet
here.
and then
We'll press
Richard.
that
Beg
one
your
in time, then
pardon.
you go back to that button.
I'm confused.
Okay, can you hear me? Good.
Yes. Yes.
Good, okay, thank you. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? On January 2nd, 2006, 13 men went to work in a deep pit coal mine in Sago, West Virginia, the Appalachian Mountains of the United States. There was an explosion and a partial cave-in. 2 days later, only one man came out alive. The other 12 died. None was killed by the explosion. None was killed by the cave-in. All 12 died from asphyxiation, from the fire damp, the methane, and the carbon monoxide that came into the mine after the explosion. The refrain is always the same, so you can sing along with me when I do it. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Bring my daddy home today. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the rescue team listening for the miners scream? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the trapped miners choke? Can you hear the trapped miners choke? Can you hear the miners choke on the fire, damp and smoke? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the widows moan? Gonna chill you to the bone. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the owners lie while another 12 men die? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Steam whistle blow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Muting myself now.
Thank you, Steve. Well, we've had mining, sea mining, and then who knows from Richard, who is our next singer, and after Richard it will be Bob.
Hear me okay, can you?
Yep.
There are quite a few songs about fairs, largely along the lines of as I was going to whatever it is fair, whatever happened. And there's a place in South Devon called Ipplepen, which apparently had a fair for some 500 years, but there didn't seem to be a song about it. So Pete Nalder decided, with such a wonderful name as Ipplepen, there ought to be a song about it. So he made this one. As I was going to Ipplepen fair, sing high and low and all. As I was going to Ipplepen fair, although my wit is small. As I was going to Ipplepen fair, I met a maid with raven hair. Sing high and low wherever you go, sing high and low and all. And as I made to pass her by, sing high and low and all. And as I made to pass her by, although my wit is small. And as I made to pass her by, she said, kind sir, could you fancy I sing high and low wherever you go, sing high and low and all. With her ruby lips and her raven hair, sing high and low and all. With her ruby lips and her raven hair, although my wit is small. with her ruby lips and her raven hair. I thought she was a beauty rare. Sing high and low, wherever you go, sing high and low and all. And then we two did both agree, sing high and low and all. And then we two did both agree, although my wit is small. And then we two did both agree, so off we went to the greenwood tree. Sing high and low, wherever you go, sing high and low and all. And what we done when we got there, sing high and low and all. And what we done when we got there, although my wit is small. And what we done when we got there, I promised her I'd never declare. Sing high and low, wherever you go, sing high and low and all. And when we got to Ipplepen Fair, sing high and low and all. And when we got to Ipplepen Fair, although my wit is small. And when we got to Ipplepen Fair, I left that maid with the raven hair. Sing high and low, wherever you go, sing high and low and all. And now I hear she rues the day, sing high and low and all. And now I hear she rues the day, although my wit is small. And now I hear she rues the day that ever she strayed to dally and play. Sing high and low, wherever you go, sing high and low and all.
Hey.
A little callous there, I think.
Oh. Well, they often are, those songs, aren't they?
They are.
No getting away from it.
Thank you,
You're a
Richard.
lifter.
So our next singer is Bob Askew, and then Garry Walker's joined us. Welcome back, Garry. So Bob and then Garry.
I'd like to follow up David's song with another one about a woman dressing up as a man and going to sea. This is The Female Rambling Sailor, and it turns out that it is based on a true story. They did find out who Rebecca Young was recently, and she did work on the ships along the River Thames. And I don't want to spoil the plot, but dying from falling from the rigging is one of the most common ways that sailors died. It's very, very rarely found in a folk song. Anyway, this song, The Female Rambling Sailor, there is a version found in Hampshire, but I slightly prefer the tune from a woman called Caroline Peaty in Australia. So I'm going to try and do nearer to that version. The Female Rambling Sailor. Come all you maidens far and near, and listen to this ditty. Near Gravesend there lived a maid, who was both young and pretty. Her true love he was pressed away, and drowned in some foreign sea, which made this fair maid for to say, I'll be a female sailor. Jacket blue and trousers white, she was a sailor neat and tight. The sea it was the heart's delight, the female rambling sailor. And when the storms and seas did rage, she was ready at her station. Her mind as calm could be, she loved her occupation. And when the ship lay calmed at sea, she charmed the sailors with her tongue. She walked the decks and freely sung, this female rambling sailor. From stem to stern she freely goes, braves all dangers, fears no foes. But soon you hear of the overthrow of the female rambling sailor. This maiden gay away July, she'd race aloft with any. Straightway up to the tops she goes, with times she had been many. From stem to stern she freely went, with times she had been many. Her hold did slip, and down she fell. She calmly bid this world farewell. When a snowy white breast to view it came, it appeared to be a female frame. And Rebecca Young, it was the name of the female rambling sailor. On the River Thames she's known right well, few sailors there could her excel. A tear let fall and bid farewell to the female rambling sailor. So come all you maidens far and near, who've listened to her story. Her body's anchored in the ground, let's hope her soul's in glory. On the River Thames she's known right well, few sailors there could her excel. A tear let fall and bid farewell to the female rambling sailor.
That's all, Bob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Looks like it's going to be the night of cross-dressing. So,
No.
Okay, I'll put my shirt on.
so Garry, you've been away for a while. Welcome back. And after Garry, two of our very, very regulars, Maggie and Pete.
Right, no cross-dressing from me, you'd be pleased to hear. I'm going to do a ballad. Variously known as McCaffery, McCafferty, whatever. When I was 18 years of age, into the army I did engage. I left my home with a good intent to join the 32nd Regiment. When I was posted on guard one day, some soldiers' children came out to play. From the officers' quarters my captain came, and he ordered me for to take their names. I took one name instead of three. With neglect of duty they did charge me, confined to barracks with a loss of pay, for doing my duty the opposite way. A loaded rifle I did prepare to shoot my captain in the barrack square. It was my captain I meant to kill, but I shot my colonel against my will. At Liverpool Assizes on trial I stood, and I held my courage as best I could. Then the old judge said, "Now, McCaffery, go prepare your soul for eternity." I had no father to take my part, no loving mother to break her heart. I had one friend, and a young girl was she, who'd lay down her life for McCaffery. So all you officers take advice from me. Go treat your men with some decency, for it's only lies and a cavity that made a martyr of McCaffery. It's only lies and a cavity that's made a martyr of McCaffery. Thank you.
Oh, nice one, Jerry.
Out of interest, I was reading an article on that song, and it seems it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Almost everything in it was true. So, this lad was short.
In the arms, you weren't allowed.
Always looked
Oh, where's that?
and so he got.
It was considered.
Oh,
Yeah. So you would
shoot him.
pitched up rotten.
Okay.
I did hierarchy.
So we've got Maggie and Pete, and after them we'll have Pal.
Right, for me tonight. This is one of those songs, old lags will remember the time when there used to be one particular song that everybody had to sing. I mean, Lakes of Pontchartrain seemed to be one a few years ago. And this is one from long before that. Everybody had to sing it. I even remember Shirley Collins singing it, which seems slightly odd because it's an Irish song. Here we go. All the winter it is past, and the summer's come at last. The small birds are singing in the trees. All their little hearts are glad, but mine is very sad, since my true love is far away from me. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. The rose upon the briar, and the waters running clear, bring joy to the linnet and the bee. All their little hearts are sad, but mine, all their little hearts are glad, but mine is very sad, since my true love is far away from me. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. All the livery I'll wear, and I'll comb back my hair, and in velvet so green I'll appear. All this I'll undertake for my own true lover's sake, for she lives in the Curragh of Kildare. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. All you who are in love and cannot it remove, I pity you the pain you do endure, for experience lets me know that your heart is full of woe. Yes, it's woe that no other can share. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear.
It's a shame that song has dropped off the rounds, because that's a lovely song and I've hardly ever heard it. Thanks.
That was the big. Oh, the big.
For us.
Not that Maggie.
Oh,
No.
and,
Are you unmuting?
Sorry, Amanda, I'm having a night off. Thank you. I misunderstood. Thought there was another Maggie's. We only see 9 people at a time.
Oh, sorry, Maggie.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Enjoy a relaxing evening. Okay, hopefully we'll hear you again soon. So it's Pal and then Judy Cook, please.
A cup of tea.
Okay, this is the first folk song I ever sang in public in a little folk club in Louth, Lincolnshire in 1965. So here we are again. Oh, hard is the fortune of all womankind. They're always controlled, they're always confined, controlled by their parents until they are wise. Then slaves to their husbands the rest of their lives. Oh, I am a poor girl, my story is sad. I've always been courted by a waggoner's lad. He's courted me daily, by night and by day. Now his wagon is loaded, he's going away. Your horses are hungry, go feed them some hay. Then sit here beside me as long as you may. My horses aren't hungry, they don't need your hay. Then fare thee well, darling, no longer I'll stay. Your wagon needs greasing, your whip is too long. Then sit here beside me as long as you can. My wagon is greased, my whip's in my hand. Then fare thee well, darling, no longer I'll stand. Oh, hard is the fortune of all womankind. They're always controlled, they're always confined, controlled by their parents until they are wise. Then slaves to their husbands the rest of their lives.
That was lovely.
Lovely stuff, Pal, and it makes an excellent case for feminist revolution.
Yay.
So,
if only.
Someday.
For a game of soldiers.
America.
Our next singer is Judy Cook, and Martin Mayo will be after her.
Okay, this is a hit song from the 1830s. I think you'll know it. Mid pleasures and palaces though we may roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. A charm from the skies seems to hallow us there, which seek through the world is not met with elsewhere. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. An exile from home, splendors dazzle in vain. Oh, give me my lowly thatched cottage again. The birds singing gaily that come at my call, give me them with that peace of mind, dearer than all. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. To thee I'll return overburdened with care. The heart's dearest solace shall comfort me there. No more from that cottage again will I roam. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
And very, very appropriate lockdown era. So next we have Martin Nail, and after Martin, I think we'll have Jan Ayres.
Yeah, Amanda, can I just tell you, John White here. I had a trouble with the connection, so I'm back on with you now.
Great stuff. Glad you made it back.
Okay, thank you.
Over to
Right. I assume it's still me.
It is indeed.
Right. Yes, this is a couple of weeks ago I did a song collected by Vaughan Williams from Harriet Verrill of a place called Monk's Gate near Horsham, and published in the Penguin Book of English Folk Songs. And here is another song collected by Vaughan Williams from Harriet Verrill and published in the Penguin Book of English Folk Songs. This one is this one has been collected from other people, unlike Fare You Well, My Dearest Dear, which hardly has. How does this go? As I crossed over Salisbury Plain, it's there I met a scamping young blade. He kissed me and enticed me so, till along with him I was forced for to go. We came unto a public house at last, and it's there for man and wife we passed. He called for ale and wine and strong beer, till at length for bed we both did prepare. Undress yourself, me darling, then says he. Undress yourself and come to bed with me. All that I will then, said she, if you'll keep all of them flash girls away. Oh, them flash girls you need not fear, for you will be safeguarded, my dear. all to maintain you both fine and gay. I will go a-robbing all on the King's highway. So it's early next morning, my love, he arose, and so nimbly he put on his clothes. Straight for the highway then he set sail, and it's there he robbed the coaches of the mail. But it's now in Newgate jail my love do lie, expecting every moment for to die. May the Lord have mercy on his sweet soul, for I think I hear the death bell for to toll. Salisbury play.
Lovely stuff, Martin. Thank you. Jan is our next singer, and after Jan, we'll fly across the Atlantic and we'll have something from Riggy.
Can I do a quick poem before I sing? It is relevant. Can you hear me?
You certainly can.
Thank you. It's called Dressing. Stepping fresh from the shower, bending into a basque, fiddling with the fishnets, stumbling with suspenders, stalking into stilettos, slithering into a satin slip, wriggling into a velvet skirt, slipping on a silky shirt, out with the black eyeliner, mascara and eyeshadow blue, a little smudge of blusher, pout and wink in the mirror, get you, lashings of lovely red lipstick, nervously hoping that no one will guess, whilst fiddling with fingertip curls that one does enjoy to cross-dress, and Georgie's off out with the girls. Cross-dressing? Is that right? And this is totally inappropriate, really, because it's New Year's Eve by Sai Khan, but it's too good to just do once a year. I've seen you tossing restless between midnight and day, paying back the debts of many years. That's too high. Or staring out the window till the mist has burnt away, and waiting for the sun to dry your tears. I've seen you young, I've seen you old, I've seen you lost and found, I've seen you sit and cry without a sound. I've seen you in the lamplight, the dark lines on your face, the shadows of your fears upon the wall. But crying is no weakness, and to lose is no disgrace. You see, we're not so different after all. But can't you tell by the ringing bell, the old year's moving on? I'd like to say one thing before it's gone. May whatever house you live in have flowers by the door, and children in the bed to keep you warm. May the people there accept you for whom you really are, and help you find some shelter in the storm. And morning rain to ease the pain that comes with being free. May the new year bring you freedom peacefully. Sai Khan.
That's fun.
Thanks, Jan. I hadn't heard that one before, so thanks.
But I can sing it once a long time ago.
Did you? Oh, right. Oh.
Hundreds of songs. Sai has written hundreds of songs, literally.
Yeah, he's written loads of great songs. He's been over here for a long time, sadly.
Next up we have Riggy and then Alison Frosdick.
Okay, it's 10 of 1 here in California, and it's what I call beer o'clock. It's time to drink. There stands the glass that will ease all my pain, that will settle my brain. It's my first one today. There stands the glass that will drown all my tears, that will hide all my fears. Brother, I'm on my way. I'm wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are all right. I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass. Fill it up to the brim till my troubles grow dim. It's my first one today. There stands the glass that will settle my brain, that will ease all my pain. It's my first one today. I'm wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are all right. I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass, it's up to the brim till my world grows dim. It's my first one today.
Poignant song. So Alison, it'll be you and then we'll have Tara.
Okay, so yeah, it's not really much of a feminist song. It's a song I haven't sung for a while. It's a music hall song called "You Must Have a Man Around the House," and probably when it was written in 1934, that may have been the general feeling at that time. I remember my grandmother, when my granddad died, didn't even know how to write a cheque. It was very sad. Written by a chap called Frank Wood, whose memorable songs include "Father's Whiskers," and those of you who've grown whiskers rather long during this lockdown may like to read it. It's quite amusing. Anyway, here we go. Do join in with the chorus. Now I've heard some wives declare that some men are like a bear, but you must have a man about the house. You can do without a cat or a poodle on the mat, but you must have a man about the house. He noses into everything, I've heard some women say, but whether he's a work of art or just a lump of clay, you must have a man, a naughty little man, though he's always on the grumble and the grouse. And he's always on about his poor old liver. He's sure you must have a man about the house. When there are bones and bits of meat that no one else will eat, sure you must have a man about the house. And when a mouse comes out to play and you want to pass away, oh, you must have a man about the house. When patches are required upon the seat of little Bob, A pair of someone's pants are commandeered to do the job. You must have a man, a naughty little man, though he's always on the grumble and the grouse. And he tells you the same old story. Sure, you must have a man about the house. If you want to scrape a boot, safety razor blades acute, you must have a man about the house. When Anne Boleyn laid her head on the block, she smiled and said, oh, I do like a man about the house. When Mum said to the plumber, are you living here, old chap? He answered, no, it only takes a month to mend the tap. You must have a man, a naughty little man, though he's always on the grumble and the grouse. And he can't stand time, please, gentlemen. Sure, you must have a man about the house. You must have a man, a naughty little man, though he's always on the grumble and the grouse. And he can't stand time, please, gentlemen. Sure, you must have a man about the house.
Well done, Alison.
Lovely, Alison. No, that's very good.
In answer to that, isn't there a saying that a woman needs a man like a fish needs
a bicycle?
Oh, yeah.
It was a feminist graffiti. Alison, I think I have more verses for that than you sang.
Good too.
I'll check that with you another time.
I can't help. It's although it's not feminist, it's still somewhat ironic.
Yes, it's
So maybe it is after all. Anyway, Tara's our next, and then we'll have Chris Lamb.
Hi, so I've started listening to, as you at the beginning of the Zoom, I started listening to all these classic folk on, because of Mike, on EFDSS, and each time I discover new artists, and I discovered Anna and Elizabeth a few weeks ago, and I really like them. And today I found a song by them that they did, which was a Negro spiritual from Virginia. And I kind of figured it's I Don't Want to Die in a Storm. And I don't know, it just makes me think of COVID, because here in Brittany, where we've actually had no problems at all, it's suddenly getting really bad really quickly. And so I'm going to sing this, and I've never done this before, take a traditional folk song and change the words, because they're kind of sacrosanct, but I've done it anyway. So bear with me. Sing along with all the harmonies that you can muster, because I'm on my own here. This is I Don't Want to Die in the Storm. Well, I don't want to die in the storm. No, I don't want to die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west, but I don't want to die in the storm. My old father might die in the storm. Yes, my father might die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west. My old father might die in the storm. My dear mother might die in the storm. My dear mother might die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west. My dear mother might die in the storm. My young brother might die in the storm. My young brother might die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west. My middle brother might die in the storm. My little sister might die in the storm. Yes, my sister might die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west. My little sister might die in the storm. My own daughter might die in the storm. My own daughter might die in the storm. Let the wind blow east, let the wind blow west. My little daughter might die in the storm. I don't want them to die in the storm. I don't want them to die in the storm. Put your masts on in the east, put your masts on in the west. I don't want them to die in the storm. I don't want them to die in the storm. I don't want them to die in the storm.
Lovely.
Nice.
Lovely.
Awesome,
Good
Sarah.
song. Nice one.
So appropriate and heartfelt.
Yeah.
So, Chris Lamb, you have to follow that, unfortunately, and Sheila Miller will follow you.
About half an hour ago, I had a really weird experience. I left the room for 2 or 3 minutes just to check I was pitching the song I intended to sing correctly. I sang a couple of verses, and as I came back into the room, the verse I'd just been singing was coming back at me out of the Zoom session, and I couldn't understand what had happened and how this was possible. But it turned out that it wasn't me, it was Garry singing McCaffery, which was the song I intended to sing. But anyway, I'm not going to sing that, I'm going to sing something different, which I haven't checked the pitch of, but I'm sure it'll be okay. You gentlemen of high renown, come listen unto me, that takes delight in fox hunting by every degree. A story I will tell to you concerning of a fox, near Royston woods and mountains high and over stony rocks. Old Reynard being in his lair and hearing of these hounds, which made him to prick up his ears and tread upon the ground. Methinks me hear some tuneful hounds oppressing upon my life. Before the day should come to me, I'll tread upon the ground. We hunted for 4 hours or more through parishes 16. We hunted for 4 hours or more and came by Barkworth Green. Oh, if you'll only spare my life, I promise and fulfil to touch no more your feathered fowl or lambs on yonder hill. Old Reynard spent an out of breath and treading on the ground, thinking he must give up his life before these tuneful hounds. So here's adieu to ducks and geese, likewise to lambs also. They've got poor Reynard by the brush and will not let him go. The fox song.
Yeah, so song from the point of view of the fox. Unusual, great. Okay, so Sheila is next, and then we'll have Jean.
Still didn't know what to sing. Amanda and I are both very taken with the songs of the great Adam McNaughtan, and we have several in common. This is one that Amanda doesn't sing unless she's learnt it recently. And it's another of those that he's written to a dance tune, which means it's quite hard to pitch. When the Scots had smashed the Norsemen, oh, you need to know that to shoot the crow means to run away. It really needs a glossary, this song, but that's all I'm going to tell you. When the Scots had smashed the Norsemen like Steelies against Jories, the generals Macbeth and Banquo walked it back to Forres. They met three. Damn it! Sorry. Take three. When the Scots had smashed the Norsemen like Steelies against Jories, the generals Macbeth and Banquo walked it back to Forres. They met three witchy dames who did that fortune-telling thing, who told me, oh, sod it. I'm going to have to find the words for that. I'm really sorry. This is usually a song. It has a lot of words, but it's not usually one I need the words for. And it was fine when I sang it in the shower earlier on. But isn't that always the way?
Was ever thus.
Sorry, yes.
Why don't you sing it in the shower now? I can make it for interesting viewing.
We're not having that kind of thing here, thank you very much.
You might not
And
be
it would
able
give
to
us
hear
that
it.
frying sound that we want.
She can't bring the computer in the shower.
Like
that's
Zoom
why.
flashing. Zoom
Right,
flashing.
the acoustics might be better though. Sorry. When the Scots had smashed the Norsemen like Steelies against Jories, the generals Macbeth and Banquo walked it back to Forres. They met three dames who did that kind of fortune-telling thing, who hailed Macbeth and told him he'd be Curragh, Glamson king. Then Macbeth fell in a dwam, but Banquo said, "Hold on a wee, you've a lot to say to him. Have you got anything for me?" The witches said, "The good news first, and then the bad will tell. You'll father lots of kings, but you'll no be one yoursel." When the king said, "You're the harder o' the title, Caithain of Curragh," Macbeth got fair excited and ambitious to get on. But his Johnny had the flair when he heard the king declare, "My boy's the Prince of Cumberland and heir to the throne." Then Macbeth afore the rest went rushing homeward at full tilt, to let his wife know she would need to air the king-size quilt. She said, "You're mad to say it, or else Duncan's off his heat, 'cause if he sleeps here the night, he's gonna waken up deed." But Macbeth convinced himself that his motives were the best, that he wouldn't murder Duncan as his cousin, king and guest. "You're a coward, you're a beast, and you don't love me," said his wife. "Ach, we'll blame it on the guard," said he, "just call me Mac the Knife." So he killed Duncan and his lady smeared the drunken guards with blood, then said, "Come on to bed, it's easy as snuff." But Malcolm shot the crow, and so did Donalbain and all, and they didn't baffle Banquo, and they didn't fool Macduff. Then Macduff put on a banquet. Then no he didn't. Then Macbeth invited Banquo to a feast as guest of honour, after hiring three miscreants to make sure he was a goner. And at the feast he simpered about Banquo no being there, but then he had to stand 'cause Banquo's ghost was in his chair. But what made him lose his marbles was when one of the miscreants came and said they'd malkied Banquo, but they'd missed the fleeings. "Avaunt," he starts, but Lady Mac said, "Folks, the party's closed, and you must excuse my husband, he's a wee bit indisposed." Banquo's lying upon the throne, just so obsessed his whole subconscious, he ordered them to kill Macduff's wife, Wayne's cats, dogs, the lot. "Lady Ensign, I must try if anything that I can buy. Purcell, Ariel, Dazzle, Flash will shift this bloody spot." Then Macduff went down to England for to fetch back Malky, but the boy said, "I'm nae use, just a randy, greedy alky." Cried Macduff, "My hope ends here." Malky said, "I'm only kidding. I'll take an army north and cut down leaves to keep it hidden." Macbeth, meanwhile, decided the weird sisters to get hoddy, and he found them boiling soup with Tartar's lips to gie it body. They told him he could not be slain by a man that's born of woman, and he didn't need to fear till he saw Birnam Wood was coming. So Macbeth became quite gallous, and he'd nothing left but malice. He couldn't feel emotions like compassion, joy or sorrow. When they said his wife had died, he just said, I would have cried if it had been the morra and the morra and the morra. Though all his pals had skied it, he felt safe in Dunsinane, and he passed his time in putting armour on and off again, till the news that Birnam Wood was on the march gave him a scare, and he said, we'll fight outside, I don't want blood or armour flare. He was swashing, he was buckling, he was swashing, he was buckling, he talked Seward's boy to death. So now I've lost the tune. I'm sorry, I'm making a real mess of this. He was swashing, he was buckling, he talked Seward's boy to death, but his confidence was shattered when Macduff yelled, hey Macbeth, against man or woman born, he said, I've got divine protection. Said Macduff, I was delivered of by Caesarean section. So Macduff cut off his head, and when he saw that he was dead, Malky said, yes, our earls, come on away to Scone. So now the players played, and there's one thing to be said. It's just half the length of Hamlet when the curtain comes down.
Brilliant. Oh, very clever.
Oh.
Again.
My turn.
Who wrote that, Sheila?
Hmm?
Sheila, who wrote that?
Oh, Adam McNaughtan. Who else?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
After all the way through.
I don't know if you've all seen this, but the Lady Macbeth speech that begins out spot very well as a hand washing. I'm sure you have.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I've not heard that. That may be added to my list very shortly. So.
Oh.
I remember a cartoon of a middle-class lady throwing out a Dalmatian dog, saying out damn spot.
Okay, so Jean, you are following that, and after Jean, John White. Could you be ready to do one after Jean?
Hello.
Don't forget to unmute yourself first.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to take you all to the seaside promenade, and it's called Sunbeam and Sunshine, but it's not Sunbeam the weather. For those of you that are too young or not around here, up until about, I think, the late 70s, we used to have Sunbeam photographers that would take pictures of people that were strolling up and down the promenades. So for those of you that would have been visiting Broadstairs Folk Week next month, it's the sort of thing that you might have seen along there. And it's got a chorus. Everyone smiles, we're all having fun, 50s and the 60s in the fanning sun. Here comes the man with camera held steady, souvenir photos, next day will be ready. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. A toddler in dungarees, eager to play, tugs on a reins to show Grandad the way. Proud on the prom, a young girl parades, delight in her outfit, a rainbow of shades. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Old comrades walk together once more, Nan and Grandad out enjoying the shore. Friends and relations down from the country, brother and sister astride on the donkey. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always, Sunbeam is there to capture those days. A seaside promenade is a haven of charm, aunts and uncles stroll arm in arm. Everyone smiles, we're all having fun. 50s and the 60s in the Thanet sun. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always. Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Bathed in sunshine, safe for always. Sunbeam is there to capture those days. Sunbeam is there to capture those days.
Good, James.
Another little bit of history. Lovely. So, John White, you're next, and Livy will mute you and then unmute you, which makes no logical sense if you don't know how Zoom works, but never mind. We all do. So, it'll be John, and then we'll have Ray McLaughlin.
It's also from the musical songs which we'll be having this evening, but from Victorian times, when there were a little group of songs that very vigorously made fun of the army officers of the day, all of whom, of course, were drawn from the upper class twits of the time. And a month or two I sang Captain Ginger, which is one of these songs. And here's another one. This one is The Galloping Major. When I was in the army, I was a cavalryman, you know. And whenever I went on parade, a magnificent figure I made. With me galloping here and me galloping there, this ridiculous habit I've got. Well, I'm damned if I know if I'm galloping now, whether up in the saddle or not. And the people all laugh at me so, for it matters not where I may go. It's bumpety, 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 bump, as if I was riding my charger. Bumpety, 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 bump, proud as an Indian Raja. All the gals declare that I'm a gay old savior. Hey, hey, clown away, here comes the galloping manger. Last year I thought I'd go and take me holidays by the sea. So I went to me quarters I fixed, and I found that the bathing was mixed. So I galloped away to a bathing machine in the busiest part of the day, and soon was at home with those gals in the water, and joined in their frivolous play. They were beautiful creatures, but Lord, how they giggled as soon as they saw my bumpty 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 bump, running my charger, bumpty 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 bump, proud as a little all the girls declare that I'm a gay old savior. Hey, hey, clown away, here comes the galloping major. Now I don't tell everybody that I was married some time ago. I remember the messages. We were together a week. I know, of course, that we might be happy. But one day, 11 o'clock, in Portland, I ran home to her mother. I said she wouldn't come back. Well, I said that I thought it was rough. She replied that she had it quite enough. Oh, my bumpty, 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 as I had my yard, bumpty, 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 I was an Indian warrior. All the guys declare that I'm a gay old savior. Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping major. That's it.
You make a great galloping major.
Sadly, we got some technical interruptions during the second half of your song, John, but the spirit of it came through anyway. Thank you. So Ray is our next singer, and he'll be followed by Tom Finn.
Okay, this is a short song, but it's, well, most of it is true anyway. In the town of Dunleary was a pub of great fame, and over the front door was Jim Downey's name. But Downey was running a non-union shop, and the barmen, they told him that he'd have to stop. Well, Downey said no, so the men went on strike, and a picket line walked up and down all day and night. Everyone said it would last but a week, but after 5 years, things were looking quite bleak. Tooraloo, toorally, it's the longest strike ever in pub history. Well, Downey kept the pub open with non-union men, and some customers came in now and again, passing the picket for the sake of a jar, and the years passed by slowly in the George's Street bar. It was during the years of the Second World War. It's Germany calling, announced Lord Haw-Haw. He had heard that the strike was still dragging on, and said Hitler is coming, so put a pint on. Tooraloo, toorally, it's the longest strike ever in pub history. When Christmas came round, Downey brought the men in, and treated the strikers to whiskey and gin. He gave them all turkeys for to take back home, but again after Christmas they were outside the door. Well, the strike it did last nearly 14 long year. Then Jim Downey died and his friends shed a tear, but his pub was soon manned by strong union men, and a black point was never blacklisted again. Tooraloo, toorally, it's the longest strike ever in pub history. Tooraloo, toorally, it's the longest strike ever in pub history. Sinead.
Wow.
Hey.
Good stuff, Ray. So, who did I say was next? Did I say Tom Finn?
No, Ray McLaughlin.
Yeah.
It was Ray.
I think I said Tom Finn. Okay, so Tom, it's you next, and then Lisa Null, and
Right, I've had two.
depending how long their songs are, we may just go straight to the interval, or we might squeeze in one more. Anyway, over to you, Tom, for now.
Okay, today is the 21st of July, which is actually Robert Burns' anniversary. I know Burns Day itself is celebrated on his birthday, which is a little bit strange. Normally when somebody is dead, you celebrate their anniversary rather than their birthday. So I'm going to sing a Burns song. This is Westland Winds, or Song Composed in August, which he wrote back in 1775 when he was only 16 years of age. Now westland winds and slaughtering guns bring autumn's pleasant weather. The moorcock brings on whirring wings among the blooming heather. While waving grain wide o'er the plain delights the weary farmer. The moon shines bright as I rove at night to muse upon my charmer. The partridge loves the fruitful fells, the plover loves the mountains. The woodcock haunts the lonely dells, the soaring heron the fountains. Through lofty groves the cushat roves, the path of man to shun it. The hazel bush o'erhangs the thrush, the spreading thorn, the linnet. Thus every kind their pleasure find, the savage and the tender. Some social join and leagues combine, some solitary wander. Avant away the cruel sway, tyrannic man's dominion, the sportsman's joy, the murdering cry, the fluttering gory pinion. But Peggy dear, the evening's clear, swift flies the skimming swallow. The sky is blue, the fields in view, all fading greens and yellow. Come, let us stray our gladsome way and view the charms of nature, the rustling corn, the fruited thorn, and every happy creature. We'll gently walk and sweetly talk, while the silent moon shines clearly. I'll clasp thy waist and fondly pressed swear how I love thee dearly. Nocturnal showers to budding flowers, not autumn to the farmer, so dear can be as thou to me, my fair, my lovely charmer. You know what?
That's done.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Nice one.
First, we've heard that song this summer, so thank you for bringing that, Tom. Lisa is next, and yes, I think after Lisa we'll have Dave Harbord.
Oh.
Are you unmuting, Lisa? Are you there?
Here I am. I'm coming to this gathering rather preoccupied and disturbed, although I'm isolated in my house, because there's been, you may have been following the papers about what's been going on in this country, but there have been unarmed, unidentified, can't really figure out who they are, people who've been whisking demonstrators off the street and being extremely savage. And they are federal, I don't know what they are, federal officials. We can't really quite figure out who they are, but they have definitely been ordered by Trump over the wishes of our governors and our mayors of Portland. And he's now threatened to do the same thing to several other cities, including Chicago.
Very frightening.
Very, very scary. And so I've been thinking about, and his justification for doing this is to say we're picking up people who are anarchists and terrorists, which is usually what he worries about, if they're not simply white. So I was thinking about the Haymarket period, which is where labor became attached to the May Day festivals all throughout Western Europe and America. It had to do with a riot in Chicago called the Haymarket Riot, in which several people were executed, not for rioting, but for inciting to riot. And one of those people who was killed and eventually pardoned many, many years after his death by a progressive governor named Governor Altgeld was a man named Albert Parsons, who did indeed edit an anarchist newspaper, but he was a fairly affable and peaceful soul, but dedicated to righting the wrongs of his community. And he was also a very good singer. And the night before he died, he wrote this, he was heard singing this song, which is sort of like an late 19th century labor anthem in some ways. I just love it. It's set to the tune of Annie Laurie. Oh, the night grows dark about me. I hear the midnight bell, and before another midnight, it will ring my funeral knell. It will ring my funeral knell as the night clouds are drifting by, and by the toiler's freedom I would pay the price and die. Tonight my babes are crouching by their weeping mother's side. For the country's sake the father leaves his children and his bride. Leaves his children and his bride, while men for succor cry, and to buy the toiler's freedom I would pay the price and die. Pent in a dismal dungeon, forbidden to be free, like a slave in chains and iron. Oh, what is death to me? Oh, what is death to me? Let every man reply, to buy the toiler's freedom I would pay the price and die. Weep not above my ashes, this is no time for tears, but let every man stand ready while he the bugle hears. While he the bugle hears, let every man reply, and to buy the toiler's freedom I would pay the price and die. Albert Parsons.
Oh, brilliant.
It's beautiful, Lisa. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, Lisa, that must be so frightening over there at the moment.
Magnificent.
So frightening. Yeah.
Believe me.
Thank you. It was a lovely song.
Are you in Portland, Lisa?
No.
DC.
Silver Spring.
You're in DC.
I'm in DC and we're sequestered by doctor's orders. And banging at the wall.
So Dave Harbord is going to follow that, and Dave will be the last singer in the first half. We'll have an interval, and then we'll do it all again, but with different singers. So Dave, what have you got for us?
This is a song by the Stewarts of Blair. I sang one of their songs last week, I think another one this week. I like them, they're lovely. They sing some lovely songs if you haven't ever listened to their records. As I came by Huntley town one evening for to fee, I met with Bogey O'Kenny and with him did agree. to tend his two best horses, to cart and harrow and plough, and do anything about farm work, I very well do know. Oh, Bogey had a daughter, and her name was Isabel. She was the lily of the valley, the primrose of the dell. And when she went out walking, she took me for her guide down by the Ben O'Kenny for to see the fishes glide. And when 3 months had come and gone, this girl, she lost her bloom, the red fell from her rosy cheeks, and her eyes began to swoon. And when 9 months had come and gone, she's brought to me a son, and I was duly sent for to see what could be done. I said that I would marry her, but he said that would not do. You're no match for my bonny girl, and she's no match for you. And now she's married a tinker lad who comes from Huntley town. He mends pots and pans and paraffins lamps and scars the country round. Maybe he's got a better match, a bogey cannot tell. So fare thee well to Huntley town and to Bogey's bonny bell. Thank you.
Nice one, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. It's a cheerful Scottish song to cheerfulish Scottish song to end the first half. So I'm going to mute everyone. It's time for parish notices. So if anyone has an announcement, then this is the time to share it with everyone. I'll just pause the record again. Yeah, off you go, Caroline.
Okay, hi. Anyway, let's just get it. The old ways are changing, you cannot deny. The day of the traveller's over. There's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to bide. So farewell to the life of the rover. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan. To the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the canton, the travelling tongue. Farewell to the Romany talking, the buying and selling, the old fortune telling, the knock on the door and the hawking. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. You've got to move fast to keep up with the times, for these days a man cannot donder. It's a bylaw to say you must be on your way, and another to say you can't wander. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the bosoms of heather and broom, farewell to the creel and the basket. For the folks of today, they would far sooner pay for a thing that's been made out of plastic. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. The old ways are changing and soon they'll be gone, for progress is a big factor. It's sent to afflict us, and when they evict us, they'll tow us away with a tractor. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the pony, the cob and the mare, the reins and the harness are idle. You don't need a strap when you're breaking up scrap, so farewell to the bit and the bridle. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the fields where we've sweated and toiled at pulling and shoving and lifting. They'll soon have machines and the travelling queens, and them and folk had better be shifting. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer.
Yeah, excellent.
Tell us who wrote it. Tell us who wrote it.
Ewan McCall.
Ewan McCall. Radio ballads.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, well done,
Caroline. Thank you. So Simon is next.
Yes.
And after Simon, we'll have Kathy Dent.
Okay, this is an excuse for a bit of ragtime guitar. Actually, it's a song by Luke Jordan, and it has a bit of guitar with it, which comes from Garry Davis and is based on a piece of his, which was called "The Boy Was Playing the Guitar and Kissing the Girl at the Same Time." And he called it that because he had a very strong left hand, and he could play with just one hand, and you can work out the rest. It's a nonsense song, I think. It's called "I'm Simply Wild About My Good Cocaine." Gal, don't take me for no fool. Well, I ain't gonna quit you, pretty mama, while the weather is cool. Hey, round your back door, honey, I'm bound to creep, just as long as you bring me 2.5 a week. I've got a girl, she works in the rich folks' yard. She brings me meal, and she brings me lard. She brings me lard. Oh, honey, she brings me meal. Yes, she brings me everything, baby, that a girl can steal. All the vaudeville circus that came to town and attended with nice and brown didn't know it was against the law for the monkey to stop at a 5-cent store just around the corner, a minute too late. Another one standing at the big front gate. I'm simply wild about my good cocaine. I call my Cora. She come with her nose all sore. The doctor said she won't smell no more. Run, doctor, ring the bell. The women in the alley are raising hell. I'm simply wild. last Sunday morn. He asked me, is your wife at home? I said she's long been gone. He backed his wagon up to my door, took everything I had, and he loaded it back in the furniture van. Honey, I did feel sad. What in the world has any man got messing with the furniture man? Well, if you got no dough, that's for sure, your furniture's back in his van. He would take everything from an honest man, from a skillet to a frying pan. If there ever was a devil without any horn, must have been the furniture man. I call my Cora. Hey, hey, here she come with her nose all sore. Doctor said she won't smell no more. Run, doctor, ring the bell. The women in the LA, I'm simply wild, got my good cocaine. All the babies in the cradle in New Orleans, doctor kept her with until the baby got lean. Kept her with until the baby got sore. The doctor said she won't smell no more. Run, doctor, ring the bell. The women in the LA, and I'm simply wild about my good cocaine.
Thanks, Simon.
Hey.
Fantastic, Simon, but I'm exhausted now. Great stuff. So, Kathy will now completely change everything yet again. And let's see, after Kathy, Kate, could you be ready to sing, please?
Well, fancy having to follow that. Returning to the cross-dressing theme, I was very worried that Alison Frosdick might have done this when she came on, but she didn't, so I'm okay. Come, all of you young females that likes to sit at home with your parents by the fireside and have no need to roam. I was brought up in Staffordshire, but there I dwell no more. I will tell you the adventures of pretty Catherine Shaw. Well, I was taken into service at just 13 years of age, and as a lady's chambermaid, well, I firstly did engage. But how my mistress treated me, well, I am ashamed to say, and scarce 12 months I stayed with her before I ran away. Well, I wandered north, I wandered south, I roamed the country round, until I came to Derbyshire, where there's coal beneath the ground. Where the men they earn good wages and have lots of gold in store. And so I got to thinking, that's a life for Katie Shaw. So I bought me a pair of moleskin pants and a pair of boots beside, with my jacket tightly buttoned up, my female charms to hide. And I cut off my yellow locks and to the pit did go, and enlisted as a soldier in the ranks up down below. For many's a day I've hewn away with shovel, pick and blade. I've worked as hard as any man, though I was but a maid. I've worked in scenes as hot as hell, or Egypt's burning drought, but I daresn't take me waistcoat off, for fear they'd find me out. But then one day a fall of stones, it did pin me to the ground, and the lads they all came rushing up, and quickly gathered round. And as they tried to pull me clear, well, you should have heard 'em shout, for me pit-shirt was all torn away, and so they found me out. So they took me to the deputy, and he did laugh and smile, to think of how this collier lass had fooled them all the while. Then they took me to the deputy, and he made it very clear that as far as mining was concerned, 'twas the end of my career. But the gaffer's son, he fancied me, and he married me out of hand. And now I live in luxury, with servants, house and land. And there's many a collier shakes his head as he passes by my door, when he thinks of the time that he used to work with pretty Catherine Shaw.
Everyone, Kathy.
Very nice.
Lovely.
So the cross-dressing theme continues. Well done. Okay, so it's Kate next, and I have so I'll go after Kate.
Okay, well, this song, we've had the song by you and McCall, and the lockdown, because it's very relevant in many ways, and you'll pick up the chorus very quickly. Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll? I worked so hard and I played my part, right as I did right from the start. These hard times are gonna break my heart, when will the good times roll? Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll? The corporation's got no home, the men on the hill have got hearts of stone. I worry my life like a dog with a bone, when will the good times roll? Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll? They're moving my job to Mexico, where the children all slave and the wages are low. What I'm gonna do, I just don't know, when will the good times roll? Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll? Oh, this world is ill divided, those who work the most have the least provided. When there's a war, they want us to fight it, when will the good times roll? Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll? Once more. Sing about these hard times, sing all about these hard old times, sing about these hard times, when will the good times roll?
Lovely, Kate.
Very nice.
Well done, Kate.
Thank you, thank you.
Well done, Kate.
Yeah.
Well done.
Now me, and after I've sung, Wendy, could you stand by ready to pick up the baton? So this is a song that I usually sing at another time of year around Halloween, but it's actually not. It's Violet Jacobs' Halloween, but it's not really so much about Halloween as about grief and loss, which many people are experiencing at the moment. And it's also we went at the weekend to a graveyard in Ilford and found my husband's great uncle's grave, and he was killed in the First World War, so there's a wee bit of a connection there. The tatty lifting's nearly through, they're plewing where the barley grew, and after dark round Alcastack you'll hear the horsemen stone and crack. Oh, Lachlan, but I mind on you. I mind how often we hae seen 10,000 stars keek down atween the naked branches, and below, baith firm and bothy hae their show. Allow we lichs a Halloween. There's bairns wi' geysers at their tail, clorin the door we run so kail, and will you hear the scraighs and skirls o' lassies with their drookit curls, bobbing for apples in the pail. The bothy fire is louping het, and new-heat horseman's kissed his set, richt o' the lumber by the blaze, the Algian stood that kept your clays. I canna tho to see it yet. Awa in France, across the wave, the wee like spun on Ilka grave, and you and me there low hae seen, you maybe hae your Halloween, yont where you're lying with a lave. But gin the old folks' tales are richt, and ghasts come hame on Hallows night, oh friends, what would I gie to see you reach your hand to me, atween the dark and Connell light. There's drink and daffin, sang and dance, and poison kisses get their chance, but Lachlan, still the place I see is where your old kiss used to be, and the lichs o' Halloween in France.
Lovely.
Violet Jacob, fantastic Scottish poet.
Yeah.
So next we have Wendy, and after Wendy it'll be Margaret Steiner's turn.
You'll all know this, so do join in. I'm sorry I won't be able to hear you. I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world alone. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that land to which I go. I'm going home to see my father. I'm going home, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep. Golden fields lie just before me. mother, I'm going home, no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I'm only going over home.
Yay.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so Margaret, welcome, Margaret. You're our next singer. Every week we suck somebody else into the web. That's probably a completely inappropriate expression. Anyway, we don't. Anyway, welcome. After Margaret, it will be Declan.
All right. Well, somebody.
Need to unmute. Margaret, you need to unmute.
Okay, sorry, let's try this again. I'm going to sing Been in the Storm So Long. I thought I had been muted. All right, well, you can hear me now, so I think. Been in the storm so long, singing, been in the storm so long, singing, oh Lord, give me more time to pray, singing, I am a motherless child, singing, I am a motherless child, singing, oh Lord, give me more time to pray, singing, this is a needy time, singing, this is a needy time, singing, oh Lord, give me more time to pray, singing, Lord, I need you now, singing, Lord, I need you now, singing, oh Lord, give me more time to pray, singing, been in the storm so long, singing, been in the storm so long, singing, oh Lord, give me more time to pray. you go.
Lovely.
Lovely, thank you.
Lovely. Good stuff.
Fabulous Sharps debut, Margaret. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please come
That's it.
again.
Thank you.
Come again.
So, Declan's our next singer, and he'll be followed by Hazel.
The reception is very poor here tonight, so it's probably at my end. So I hope you're hearing me okay. Okay.
Clear at the moment.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to try a song that I never sung before. I didn't even get a chance to sing it in the shower, but it's a lockdown song, and we thought all our bars would be reopened this week in Ireland, but it's not going to happen for another few weeks at least. I think they're trying to close down rural Ireland anyway. So I'm going to try this, and if I make complete hymns of it, you'll forgive me. It's called When They Reopen All the Bars. I'll drink my whiskey neat again, sing in chorus with my friends, wish John the best, our dear bartend, when they reopen all the bars. I'll give a hug to sweet Colleen and hear her whistle bright and keen, when all of us may reconvene, when they reopen all the bars. When they reopen all the bars, when they reopen all the bars, we'll all shake hands and all link arms, when they reopen all the bars. We'll sit together knee to knee, singing songs and converse free, passing hours cheerfully, when they reopen all the bars. We'll greet our sunny Mahon bar, hunt the box of Oranmore, banish misfortune and call on core, when they reopen all the bars. When they reopen all the bars, when they reopen all the bars, we'll all shake hands and all link arms, when they reopen all the bars. We'll gather then, long overdue, all our friendships to renew. We'll kiss our loves all in full view, when they reopen all the bars. We'll raise a glass, fear to dispel, and one for those who made us well. We'll raise one more for those that fell when they reopen all the bars. When they reopen all the bars. When they reopen all the bars, we'll all shake hands and all link arms. When they reopen all the bars.
Swan.
Roll on that day.
I know why they've got all that closed. It's because you're all threatening to shake hands and link arms if they open them up. Oh, you can only dream, can't you?
Can only dream.
And singing is one of the dangerous activities, isn't it?
Apparently so.
Dreaming is quite safe.
So sad. Yeah.
I think they're trying to stop us from enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. Don't want too much of that.
Who'd have ever thought that singing could risk your life? Anyway.
Yeah.
So it is.
Forgot that it exercises your lungs and makes you fitter to withstand anything.
Someone's going to have to explain the Dyson joke to me. Just do it now. Do it in the chat. In the meantime,
it's a line from. It's a reference to a line from.
Okay, I don't.
Ballad of Sammy's Bar.
Never mind. Anyway, it's Hazel's our next singer, and then it will be Gwyneth.
Hello, thank you. I did like that one, Declan. Thanks very much. Right, this is a slightly more cheery one than I was going to do. By to Rock Passage I sailed one day to seek my fortune far away, and to venture my life on the ocean spray, so far from my own Bermuda. Oh, Kiskadee, sing your song, speed my boat as she sails along. Back to the island where I belong, back home to my own Bermuda. From St. George's down to the Dockyard Quay, the Isles of Summer they call to me. Godspeed the day when I'll be free to sail to my own Bermuda. Oh, Kiskadee, sing your song, speed my boat as she sails along. Back to the island where I belong, and home to my own Bermuda. So give me a berth by the harbour wall, where I'll find shelter from the squall, and I'll fall asleep to the tree frog's call, safe home in my own Bermuda. Oh, Kiskadee, sing your song, speed my boat as she sails along. Back to the island where I belong, back home to my own Bermuda. By John Connolly.
Run.
Lovely.
Yeah, well done.
So thank you. We're having some great songs again tonight. Never fails. So Gwyneth's next, and then Dave Clare.
I'm going to do a song by Alan Bell called Alice White.
Somebody is unmuted very badly. Not sure what's going on.
Right, I'll just start again. My name is Alice White. I'd like you all to know I left my father's farm a long time ago. My mother called me a silly lass and said I'd rue the day that I followed on the heels of the navvies. My first man, Dandy Jack, was handsome, young and fine, and I loved him through England as we tramped from line to line. We lived in shanty houses with lodgers and children 3, and I worked to fill the needs of the navvies. When Dandy Jack was killed beneath a full of storm, I wept and cursed the day that ever I was born. But the children needed feeding, and many men looked at me. So I jumped the brush to stay with the navvies. Time came, I was deserted when my children numbered 5. So I took to me another man for to keep us all alive. And now I've known so many men, they call me Alice Free. And I've left my life away with the navvies. And now I'm getting old and grey before my time, with the work and the childbearing as we tramped from line to line. But I'll never forget poor Dandy Jack, lying so cold in his grave. He's the only one I loved of the navvies. Thank you.
Song's just fucked it up.
Nice one.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Great to hear you again. So, David Clare and then Tom Reed.
Oh, Dave.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
There. Yeah, it went. It came and went.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm generally pretty vacant. Just before we came on, I was chatting to my daughter Cassie about a singing and dance workshop she's running at the weekend with 2 of her fellow cast members of Mamma Mia 2, and we were talking about harmony, and she was saying she didn't realise she'd never been taught harmony. It was just from singing in the car. And one of the tapes we used to listen to was made by Dave Harbord and given to me, and it was of the wonderful a cappella band, the Flying Pickets, and they had a great sort of selection of songs. And this it reminded me that this is one of the songs that we used to sing together. It's by an American singer-songwriter, and he doesn't sing it anything like this, and it's quite short, but he'd probably have a big instrumental break in the middle of it. It's called The Factory. Early in the morning, factory whistle blows. Man rises from bed and puts on his clothes. Man takes his lunch, walks out in the morning light. It's a working life. Just a working life. Through the mansions of fear and through the mansions of pain, I see my daddy walking through those factory gates in the rain. Factory takes his hearing, factory gives him life. It's the working life. The working life. End of the day, the factory whistle cries. Men walk through these gates with death in their eyes. And you just better believe somebody's gonna get hurt tonight. It's the working life. It's a working life. Thank you, Bruce Springsteen. I think there's a face melting solo in there somewhere. We should have got Simon on that one.
Oh, son.
Can we have Cassie back sometime?
yeah. Once you've done this, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Tom Reed next, and then David Kidman. We're getting close to the end of the list, so anybody who has not sung yet, we might just be able to squeeze you in. Please raise your not sung. That would be great to hear. Okay, bye-bye.
We sailed away one bitter cold December day. We hoisted anchor, no delay, from Galway Bay. We sailed away, no time to cry, no mother there to wave goodbye. From famine fields the wild geese fly, to live or die. No time to cry. In God we trust, though all around us turns to dust. Our bellies starve, no crumb nor crust, so leave we must. In God we trust, down in the hold, wrapped in rags against the cold. 200 fevered Irish souls, like slaves of old, down in the hold, out ways. We beg our children to be brave. So many die, no one can save. We make their graves out on the waves. No Irish here. We strangle slowly down the pier. No helping hand, they mock and sneer. What do they fear? No Irish here. We sail away. We sail away.
Beautiful song.
Really nice job.
I always like to hear that one.
Well, that would have done as a lullaby, but we to send us all off to sleep. But we do have just a few more singers on the list. If you have not sung yet, could you just check that your hand is still up? Because sometimes they get lowered if your network's unstable for a bit or something like that. So yeah, if you could just check, that would be brilliant. And now we have David Kidman. Did I call you already, David? I can't remember. I'm losing it, I think.
Sorry?
Anyway, it's David Kidman followed by Storm.
There we go, unmuted. Yes, such is the taste of singers at this session that I invariably get beaten to it on at least 2 occasions on an evening, and tonight has been one of those such evenings. So I fall on to choice number 3, which unfortunately is probably a little too rousing for this time of night, but hey, we all like a good chorus, don't we? This is a song by Terry Conway, the late Terry Conway, The Walls of Troy. Now the banners ride the winds of peace, and the pilgrims take the road, for to advertise and to civilize and to try to beat the code. For cities fall at hatred's call, and the heroes swell the flood, for to celebrate the nation state and dip their hands in blood. And you'll hear them come around again, hear the trumpets sound again, you'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. Now in early days the people had to live their lives in tune, For the seasons came and the ages went to the call of Lady Moon. Then from the east the hunters came without regard for law, and they introduced the hunter's horse, and they invented war. And you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. Hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. Now in chaos lay the life of earth, it was the sun god's gain. All the men of iron overturned the cities of the plain, and the civilized soon learned the trade to fight and to destroy. And Zeus looked down and laughed at them beneath the walls of Troy. And you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. You'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. Now when nations seek to find their friends, they first compare their foes. And if the list turns out the same, a sour alliance grows. And the patriot must be revered, he has no guilt to hide. But the man of peace is damned unless he's on the other side. And you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. You'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. And you'll hear them talk of natural law and population trends, and they'll set the wise to rationalize and talk of means and ends. They'll say that man was made to hunt, that it's all part of the game, or they might blame religion if they think it clears their name. And you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. You'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. Now all the world's a patchwork quilt, each nation must be free. Their hate and fear are all sincere, it's all too clear to see that their freedom is the right of war, to plunder and to brag, to rape, to slay the child unborn, and all to show the flag. And you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. You'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. For you'll hear them come around again. Hear the trumpets sound again. You'll hear the drums resound again beneath the walls of Troy. Terry Conway.
Next one, Dave.
Good one, David. Thank you very much. So now we have sucked another newcomer into our Dyson. I don't know if you were here for that bit, Storm. I don't think I'm doing any better with the metaphors either. But actually, there've been a number of Storm songs this evening, so it's appropriate you've chosen to join us. Over to you, and after Storm, could we have Charlie, please? Don't forget to unmute yourself before you start.
Yeah, I was, and then you muted everyone, I think. I was here actually once before. I'm going to do a quick poem and a quick song. The poem is Moment of Panic, and the song is Let Go and Be Free. They're both mine and they're originals. Reaching for my keys, what's this? Something seems to be amiss. Frantically, I check my pants and shirt, look for them on road and dirt, recounting movements in my mind, all in vain until I find out exactly what I've done. They're hanging on my other thumb. Let go and be free. Be all you can be. Learn how to dance by taking the chance. Let go and be free. Others may point, others may make lots of noise, yet others may never know all of your bliss and your joys. Let go and be free. Be all you can be. Learn how to dance by taking the chance. Let go and be free. Your world is different, for you see with inner eyes. It's folly to follow the fool when already you're wise. Let go and be free. Be all you can be. Learn how to dance by taking the chance. Let go and be free. A new world awaits you, a world full of love and of light. Take one step forward and feel the new world's delight. Let go and be free. Be all you can be. Learn how to dance by taking the chance. Let go and be free. Trust in your courage and do the work you must do, for God surely standing, keeping a watch over you. Let go and be free. Be all you can be. Learn how to dance by taking the chance. Let go and be free. Let go and be free. Let go and be free. Let go and be free.
Thank you.
Good advice, Storm. Thank you. So Charlie is our next singer, and I understand, Charlie, you have just finished work. So it seems odd for me to be singing that at 5 to midnight, 5 to 11. I am losing, aren't I? But it's a different time for you. And then David Jones will be our last singer of the evening. So over to you. Charlie first.
It's the end of the working day in my time zone, but it's now time for dinner or supper or whatever you want to call it, which is a good excuse for this ballad from Virginia. Where have you been a-roving, John Randolph, my son? Where have you been a-roving, pray tell me, little one? I've been out a-courting, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you have for your supper, John Randolph, my son? What did you have for your supper, pray tell me, little one? Veal soup and vinegar, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you leave to your father, John Randolph, my son? What did you leave to your father, pray tell me, little one? My mule and my wagon, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you leave to your mother, John Randolph, my son? What did you leave to your mother, pray tell me, little one? My coach and my horses, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you leave to your brother, John Randolph, my son? What did you leave to your brother, pray tell me, little one? My hounds and my musket, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you leave to your sister, John Randolph, my son? What did you leave to your sister, pray tell me, little one? The rings off my fingers, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down. What did you leave to your sweetheart, John Randolph, my son? What did you leave to your sweetheart, pray tell me, little one? A cup of strong poison, go make my bed soon, mother. I'm sick at the heart and I want to lie down.
Hey, good version.
Haven't heard Polly in years. Very nice.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Charlie. Thank you.
Ah,
Come on, Charlie.
and the invisible chorus.
Charlie, thank you. Oh, finally we rock up to our last singer of the evening, and it's David Jones. David, if you're singing a chorus song, no obligation, but if you are, can you make sure you do at least 3 or 4 repetitions of the chorus at the end?
Okay, I'll do. I was going to do a Bob Coltman song, but I'll do a little old musical song instead.
But you need to unmute again.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is called Body in the Bag. Our old cat died last night. The wife said, bury it out of sight. We hadn't got a garden, we was living in a flat. What was I to do with the body of the cat? Then a big brown paper bag I spied. I dropped our dear old cat inside. And off I went with the body in the bag, the body in the bag, ta-ra-ra. I went into a public house to have a whiskey neat, gently laid me burden underneath the seat, then crawled out on me hands and knees, but halfway through the town, the barman suddenly stopped me, here's your parcel, Mr. Brown. And I had to thank the silly fool, give him £half-a-crown for bringing me the body in the bag. So off I went with the body in the bag, the body in the bag, ta-ra-ra. I walked on down the street as quiet as any mouse, gently laid me burden on the doorstep of a house. The door flew open suddenly and a lady dressed in blue. Pardonnez-moi, monsieur, but do you parlez-vous? I said, good heavens, no, I've got something else to do. I skedaddled with me body in the bag. So off I went with the body in the bag, the body in the bag, ta-ra-ra. So I threw it in the river, but the hero of a play, he jumped right in after it, shouting hip, 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 hooray. He crawled out on the bank and he stood there in a pool. He said, I'm feeling very wet and also rather cool. So I had to take me trousers off and give 'em to the fool for bringing me the body in the bag. So off I went with the body in the bag, the body in the bag, ta-ra-ra. I crept into a garden, not feeling very brave, and with a pick and shovel I commenced to dig a grave. But I got an awful fright when a voice behind me said, you're digging my potatoes. Well, you could have struck me dead, 'cause there I was a-digging on his cauliflower bed. So I hit him with me body in the bag, and off I went with the body in the bag, the body in the bag, ta-ra-ra. Then all at once from in the bag there came a plaintive meow. Said, puss, I'm dead no longer, you needn't trouble now. You've often heard it said, a catty's got 9 lives. Well, I'm a married tabby. I'm one of Tommy's wives. And our families, they usually come in 3s and 4s and 5s. But there were 7 little bodies in the bag. So home I went with the bodies in the bag, the bodies in the bag, ta-ra-ra. Home I went with the bodies in the bag, the bodies in the bag, ta-ra-ra.
Yay.
As a librarian, I didn't know that Alexander King's book, Native Houses, Fish and Tigers, has virtually that same story in it, as if it really happened to him. So look up that book. It's a very funny story. I'm sure he stole it from the song.
Yeah.
Didn't Charlie O'Haggerty write that?
Did.
No,
Yeah.
No, it was Leslie Saroni, wasn't it?
No, if you want to trace the song back, you look for the usual suspects, which would be Western League.
I thought that one was Leslie Saroni, was it not? I'll look it up.
I tell you who used to sing it.
Thank you.
Who used to sing it was Diz Disley.
Ah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the 1930s.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was Charlie O'Haggerty, but I guess maybe he just sang it or something.
No, Charlie made a book ahead of it.
Either way, great song.
Thank you, great one.
Thank you, David.
End the evening on. I see in the chat
Excellent way to end the evening.
Richard canted. And the extra chorus was fine this time for some reason. Anyway,
That's Louise.
some of you are saying have a great holiday. I'll still be with you next week. Then I'm away for a couple of weeks. But great to see you all again this evening. Newcomers as well as old comers. Anyway, great to see you all. Thanks for singing, playing, reciting, and looking forward to seeing you in a week's time.
It was great.
Amen.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Amanda.
Have a lovely evening. Amanda and Livy. Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
I think you want to do the circles on the right. You did.